Hello, welcome to Butterfly Funeral Services. Do come in. Good to have you with us. Let's make you a brew. Right, welcome to reception. So reception is where we greet you, seat you, make you a nice cup of tea and talk through your needs. We have display cabinets with ranges of things you can buy in memory of your loved ones. And this is also where we work, so it's partially our office too. Now let me take you into the Griffin Suite. So the Griffin Suite is actually our chapel of rest. Named the Griffin Suite after Dave Griffin, a close family friend who was the first person to ever use our services when Butterfly Funeral Services was established back in 2020. Then a year or so later, sadly the son died too. So we have both the Griffins on the wall, Richard and Dave, and the chapel was dedicated the Griffin Suite in memory of Dave and then latterly his son Richard. So still on the subject of Dave Griffin and his son Richard, so you may have noticed the plaque as we entered the chapel of rest. The oval shape, the Griffin Suite engraved into it there, and a 7 etched in with Dave up the middle of the 7. The significance of the shape of the plaque is that Dave was a huge Barry Sheene fan and a motorcycle racing fan, as was Richard of course, and he had the replica bike. So this is the shape of the number as it sits on the bike of Barry Sheene, and Barry Sheene was number 7 when he was a championship motorcycle racer. Right, nothing exciting here apart from this is where we made your cup of tea. Every good funeral home has a place to make a brew. We also in here display our certificates showing our commitment to learning, our qualifications, first aid certificates and other bits and pieces. Right, we now enter the mortuary, so viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so just a quick brief look round, that's all this will be at the moment. So here's all the bits and pieces that we use when we enter into carrying out preparation. That's care of the deceased, care of your loved one, getting your loved one ready for that final journey and ready for the chapel of rest. So as we move around, we've got various bits and pieces. So this is what we call a wheeled bier. So the bier is for the coffin to go on to when your loved one's in the coffin and prepared. And this is what the coffin stands on in the chapel of rest when you come in. It just makes it a little bit easier for us to manoeuvre around, especially if you're working solo. This is our mortuary trolley. It goes up and down. And that basically services our chamber. So these are the trays that your loved one would rest on when we bring them in. And that would be wrapped in nice clean linen sheets. And that's the block that goes under the head just to keep the head up and support that. And then we've got some extra bits of equipment for our removal process from home or hospital. And we can go into more detail about that another time. These are ashes urns that are in stock. And down there we have a cuddle cot. This is our mortuary chamber, and as you can see by the numbers on the door, it caters for 6 people. It starts about there, then the second there, and then the third there, and then repeated the other side 4, 5, 6. And that's our board of operations, which we've currently emptied. That's just for confidentiality, but we can touch on that later on. So if you want to see more of that very brief overview and you want more detail on the kit, on the chamber, the trolley, the stretchers, the urns, pop it in the comments and we'll look at doing something.